So I just got done doing an amazing presentation for vocal pedagogy. I'm taking that this semester, and oh my goodness, it was amazing. I think that I did a really, really good job, praise the Lord. Let me see. I really, really want you guys to see it, so this is an official retake of what I just did in class. My teacher said that it shouldn't be anywhere on the internet. I don't know, maybe because she was in it and maybe because of the song itself, but yeah. So unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see the class version. It was amazing. I think I did a really good job. But I basically did my presentation on a song entitled The Call by Ralph Vaughan Williams. And just to give you a little bit of background info, this song is from a set of 5 songs called the 5 Mystical Songs. And these songs are they're poems originally that were set to music by Williams, and the poems are by George Herbert, and he wrote them in 1633, and he named these poems the Temple Sacred Poems, and that's the whole name of the collection of poems that Williams set to music. And even though Ralph was an agnostic, he still set these sacred Christian poems to music. So I thought that was fascinating. That's amazing. It didn't stop him from setting it to music. So I thought that was neat. Let me see. I basically told the vocal pedagogy class, told my peers, that when they are singing, they need to hold out the ends of the phrases. Nobody ever likes to do that. And so that needed to be held out. Also, there's a set of quarter notes on certain words towards the ends of each phrase. And I told them to show their own interpretation and show their own sort of expression to those quarter notes instead of it being generic and plain. So I thought that was pretty neat. It's kind of rubato and free feeling, so I wanted to emphasize that. There were a couple of people that came up in the front of the class to volunteer, and I had them concentrate on the middle line on the second page, and it reads, "Come my joy, my love, my heart, such a joy as none can move." That's the most climatic line in the entire piece. And so on "Come my joy," on each instance where joy is mentioned, where the word joy is, there's a dotted half note connected to another half note, and there's an implied crescendo on both those parts, on both those words. And so I had them do that. I had them do a crescendo there towards, this is how you would sing it. Come, come, my joy, my love, my heart, such a joy as none can move. And so I wanted them on on those quarter notes, I had them taper it down, and there is a piano dynamic marking on the very next phrase that they had to address and that they had to get to. And so I went on ahead and had them do an implied decrescendo on those notes, so that way they can get to the piano dynamic. And I told them on the softer phrases at the end, there's a piano and a pianissimo phrase at the very end of this piece. I told them to have energy behind their notes, even though the notes are a bit softer. That's really, really important in vocalizing, in voice, period. A lot of people, singers, beginning singers, if they don't know what they're doing, they tend to go flat on the softer notes, or they tend to go slower on softer notes, or they tend to do both. So vocal teachers, look out for stuff like that, because that is definitely going to happen. And overall, I think that my presentation went really, really well. Another thing that I said in the background of the piece, this piece, The Call, has several references to the Bible. In the Bible, for the first line says, "Come my way, my truth, my life, such a way as gives us breath." So, my goodness, there's so many similarities to God and references to God in that first line. And the Bible refers to Jesus as being the way, the truth, and the life. So I said that in class. And the bottom line of the first page in this music says, "Come my light, my feast, my strength." And the feast is, the Bible refers to a feast being in heaven, like the banquet of heaven. And so it's basically talking about heaven. I'm not getting my words straight right now, but it's basically talking about heaven, this song is, and it's a joyous song. And I said that the harmonies are really gorgeous. These are some different harmonies. It's very modal, it's very gorgeous, very pretty. It reminds me of a love song, but just to God. So I told them, to think of it as such, and I wanted to tell them, just think about, singing like in your room, when nobody's around, and, singing a love song just to God. And so we had to relate something. We had to get them to think about something emotionally while they were singing, so that way they can, emphasize that while it was being sung. So I thought that was neat. Overall, I think the piece went, my presentation and this piece went really, really well. And I appreciate all the help that I got. My teacher got to accompany and help out that way. And like I said, a couple of volunteers from the class stepped up and they sung the piece for me. So thank you for watching my retake, and y'all have a good rest of your day.